Test, test, test. Testing. We're doing a sound check test just in case you guys can't hear me. Let's just see. Hopefully you guys can't hear me. Okay, cool. All right, I just checked on my Facebook to make sure that we are all good. So, hello, I am Megan, otherwise known as Curator Kitty. I am not a DJ, nor am I a music producer yet. That's my 10-year goal. But I do love curating tracks. I love creating ambiance, atmosphere, really cool tracks that, sound familiar or don't sound familiar, that kind of are out of the box. And I just, I've been to so many different DJ and gigs and festivals and concerts for the past 10 plus years. And, I wish I had done this sooner in my life. I was too busy and enthralled with doing hair because right out of beauty school, I instantly got a job. And then, 10 years later, I quit, in that business because it got to be pretty draining, just working for salon to salon to salon and not really having the goal of wanting my own salon because, again, you are always working. With music, it could be the same way. You could just be always working. You could always be inside in the studio, either recording people, recording music. But for me, that's not work. For me, that would it feels like a passion that you can make money doing, but also just feeling good about, yourself and being able to collaborate with other artists. And I think that I'm pretty lucky so far to have friends who are DJs, friends who are in the music industry, and just learning from them. But the curating music was kind of something that I did on my own. I wasn't taught to do it. I didn't really study anybody doing it. The only other person I can think of is Mark Rubier, but I just discovered him like 2 years ago. um, but he's cool. I probably would do something like that he's doing if I had more hardware, minus the singing. I don't really like to sing and for other people. I like singing along to things, but other than that, I do love to create music that could be used in short films, in scores, as a score for, commercials if people want to use it to advertise their products or advertise their services. So I have a plethora of tracks that I've created over the past 3 years that I recently uploaded this year in early June, July, using DistroKid, and I like it. I mean, I like that, the music sounds great. I have about 3 albums and a couple of EPs up, and it is still something I'm very proud of. But now I'm making tracks that I can now master and make and improve on their quality of sound. So then that way when I go ahead and upload it to SoundCloud, it sounds really good. And then I don't feel weird about or uncomfortable or vulnerable about sharing my SoundCloud with somebody because I know that it'll sound good. So I do have a friend that does do mastering, and he's very good. But I do use a software that I can use as far as mastering. It could be either like $10 to $20 to like download it, which is fine because someone on the other end is doing it for me. Um, but you can also do it on SoundCloud. You can have it mastered as well, but that's only if you have a higher membership. I think it's like 49 a month, which is really ridiculous. I had my old SoundCloud hacked, and I had my SoundCloud for a long time. So I was very upset because I cultivated so many followers, and I had all these old tracks on there. So I had to create a new one. And I have about 5 songs on there, 5 tracks, and I have about like 10 followers now. So I'm starting from scratch again, but that's fine. It's come at a good time in my life where I was able to create Curator Kitty, and with the help of a friend, was able to perform for people, which was really fun. And I'm actually working on doing more gigs like that in the future. I have a couple lined up, and also video gigs that I have lined up, which is great. But yeah, things are going great. I'm just trying to store away all these gigs, trying to store away for the winter coming. And I know it's still fall, but by the time we know it, it'll be December, and there won't be any weddings anymore. There won't be any outdoor activities if you live in Chicago or the Midwest where we have four seasons. So, it's good to protect yourself and have a job or a gig that requires you to be inside. And, with the pandemic still happening, there are some good changes happening, but we still have it. It's still around. So you just have to be careful, being able to have, gigs or something going on that you can make some money. And, sometimes it's good to also have another job. I do not. I can't do the 9 to 5 thing. I did that before for so long. I can't do it anymore. So, I had a I had a track that I know that we had almost finished. I think we're pretty much done with it by now. So I did get Ableton to work on my computer, you guys. I did say that last time we weren't able to do that, and it was really giving me some issues. Someone said that it's been wonky lately. I have the newest version. It's Ableton Live Light 11, so it's the newest one. It seems pretty easy, pretty streamlined. I like the way you can see all of the settings and everything. And it's, you just fuck around with it. You play with it. And on the hardware situation, I still am trying to get some cords for the keyboard, and I am going to figure out how to mount the camera so that you guys can see above me looking down, so you can actually see me playing the keyboard as we're going and still do the share screen with Ableton, because the keyboard that I have is an Akai M225, so it can work with Ableton, and which is great. So I want to be able to start using that again. And so we're going to finish this track on Amplify, but I think I'm going to show you guys what I've been doing on Ableton. I have 2 songs that I just experimented with on Ableton, and I still use Splice, which I told you guys was like already mastered loops and sounds, which are really great. But the difference between Amplify and Ableton is I don't have to go in and like if I add something from Splice, I don't have to worry about adjusting the BPM and adjusting the sound and pitch, which is great. So let me just open this because we're gonna finish it. I don't I don't know if I want to upload it to SoundCloud, but I'll show you guys how I do it. If you guys are new to SoundCloud, I'll show you, and I'm just gonna delete it after. So let me see. I think it was Soul Food. That's what it was called. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know if I put it in here even. Oh, I must have. I don't think I have it anymore. Huh. Let's see. But let me know, you guys, how you guys are doing, because I think that it's. Oh, here it is. Let's see. I think that it's important to be able to know that, whatever you're going through, it's always good to be able to put yourself in a way where, like, yeah, you don't want to get your social media hacked like I did 2 years ago. It just was not fun. And then I had nowhere for my music to go. I was a little nervous at restarting it again. But once I gave it a different email, and I'm kind of paranoid for my email like every few weeks on my email password and everything, because you just never know. You can get those phishing accounts, or, I mean, don't click on any kind of email unless you know that it's supposed to be from someone that a company or a person. I mean, they can be really clever with the email address and the links that you click on. So let me go ahead and share this with you guys. This is the last track that we had before. Let me share my screen. All right. Here we go. Okay. So this was the track that we had before, right? So I think what we're going to do is we're going to finish it out. I already, went in and added those transitions that we needed to do to make it sound good and not make it feel like, people are going to be surprised, when they hear the track change. So let's play from like the last few bars here. All right, that sounds pretty cool. That sounds good. So I think we'll just end it with like doing the harmony, sliding that over. I usually like to just kind of drag like just a few like ones to kind of like keep it going. But if I take away the beats or I take away the percussion, then it's like giving you a signal that it's stopping, right? So let's do this. And we'll not put the beats in there. So let's hear how that sounds without the beat. All right, that sounds pretty good. So that's like I like to be able to end on a vocal because it's a little bit more. And we started this so like high energy. So I feel like it's good to kind of end with this ethereal kind of sound. So we'll save it and then let's go ahead and export. And then whenever I export, I like to be able to let's see. I like to be able to sorry, this takes forever. I like to be able to do like a waveform. You can also do a section of it, and then you could also export to Ableton, which is great. So I think that there are a lot of music softwares out there that even like free ones like this or ones like that are pretty like standard and not like for produce. I mean, it is still for producing, but it's like it comes with this also with this like big loop pad. It's got like 30 loops on it, and there's a smaller version. So you can actually put all the sounds and everything onto that looper, which is great. But since this is a standard software, you can still export it to Ableton. So if I exported it to Ableton, I think what it would do is, let's see what happens if I share it, because okay, so I could go in and I could go. I actually have my Ableton in my backup plus external, so it doesn't actually go. It doesn't actually open up Ableton. It just shares it to your computer or exports it to your computer, where you can then pull it, export it to or import it to Ableton. So that's kind of doesn't really do that. Then it's just kind of like saving it. So I'll export it in a waveform, and we'll call it Soul Food. You know, export it to backup because I have Amplify on there as well. What I do is I usually share this. I usually have like all my videography and photos and my podcasts and my music folders in my external. And this is a 4 terabyte external. It actually has more memory than my whole iMac computer does, which is crazy. The iMac desktop that I'm using. But I have 2 other external hard drives that I had when I first started doing videography and photography. But this is like the one that I always keep plugged in my computer, and I only ever really bring it with me somewhere if I'm going on a shoot and I need to dump footage to my laptop or something, or to a client's computer. Um, and then you can have like your standard like Fire Stick. This is if you are playing at an event or a concert or something, and you want to put all your files on here. Usually, venues will have, if they do have their own equipment, you just plug it right into the mixer or um, the turntables, and then it'll show all of your tracks and everything on there. So that's easier to do that. 'Cause in that way, just don't lose it. Like, make sure you have a case for it or something. Put it away right when you're done with your gig so you don't lose it. I've heard horror stories of DJs like losing their shit at places, and it sucks. Like, especially if they don't get it back. Like, it's always kind of scary. That's why you got to back up your backup. So, all right, it's exported. So we're gonna click out of here because I've only made about 6 to 10 minute tracks so far on Ableton, because I know, I positively know that you can do a live set on it where you can. I haven't really tried to like hook it up to the computer yet, like, or the internet yet. I don't know if you can do that. I'm gonna see if I can do that for the streaming, because that would be really cool if I could like stream from there. But I don't think it'll have like I don't I don't know. I think I could still like do a live stream with Melon, but I don't know. I don't know if Ableton has like live streaming, but I know that you can play it live. Like, you can just click on it and then, hook your computer up to your mixer, and then that way, you can just play as you go for a live set. But that's what I'm going to have to do if I make projects on Ableton. It's the same thing with Amplify. You just upload the application, you just open the application, and then you just start playing. And like I had showed you before on Amplify, what I would do to make a track about 50 or 40 minutes long is just clicking on the looped sections a couple times and letting them just play over and over, or click on the loop section once and then just let it play over and over until you move to the next one. And that's why you have to be able to curate those tracks the way that you want, the way that that you can have a little bit of free time in between and check your phone or go to the bathroom, or like kind of like just dance a little bit, read the room, and then move to the next part of your track. And for me, I just get it. Like, I don't really think about it that much, but I also consider like knowing the venue that I'm going to, knowing the type of people that might be there, and curating those tracks in order to please the ears of said patrons. Like, let's say you're going to a goth club or a punk club, like, you wouldn't play house music. You could play industrial, grime, garage. You could do techno. You could get away with drum and bass. You could do UK techno specifically. But yeah, like, unless I mean, or if you're going to like, if you're going to a drag show and you're playing for a drag show, you play house, you play disco, maybe you play hip hop, maybe you play, show tunes, maybe you play pop music. Like, you just have to know your crowd and know your venue. So we're going to go ahead and open up SoundCloud, and we're going to upload the songs. So let me show you guys. So I'll show you my SoundCloud. All right. So I have 33 plays in the last 7 days, which is pretty good actually. Even if they are robots, I really don't give a shit. It's like I said, I just started to create my SoundCloud again. So now I have 13 followers, so that's good. So these are like the likes that you, or these are the plays, these are the re mixes, like people, or the reposts, and then these are comments, or like someone commented on here. Sometimes they're robots, which really sucks, but it's okay. I have one more repost. I have 10 listens. So it's great. I'm getting good here. So this is actually my hour-long mix. I encourage you guys to go to that on my SoundCloud and check it out. I had a friend of mine who literally watched me curate music in front of him, like what I'm doing with you, and I did it for about an hour. I made 3 tracks, and then he mastered them and put them together in that order that I played them. So it's, if you want something to do or listen to for an hour of your time, maybe you're working or maybe you're doing chores, or, it's pretty cool. So these are all my tracks, and Analog is the oldest one. I think that's the actual first one I played. Um, 2018. It was like on 420. It was April 20th. So I just got stoned and woke up and started playing for 21 minutes straight. So, but yeah. So, I'm going to go ahead and upload. I don't think I'll have a picture. Like I said, I'm going to delete it after, but I'll show you guys how you do it. So let's go ahead and find Soul Food here. So upload that. Let's just do like my logo as the as the picture. So I would say deep house is like the main genre, and then we could do drum and bass. We could do, what else would it be? World. What else, guys? What else would it be? I think we're good with that. Oh, maybe ambient. It does have like some, trancey kind of things in there. So trance. Let's do tech house. I think that's about it. Oh, let's do soul and funk. So those will show up as tags, and these are good because you need these. So when someone goes ahead and searches those genres, then people will see your music. Your music will come up with other artists or creators on SoundCloud. I can say a plethora. I don't know how to spell plethora. Let's see how the computer spells it. Oh, come on. There we go. Plethora of genres ranging from deep house to funk, giving your let's just do that. Okay, it's stupid, but let's just go ahead and upload that. So it's already uploading. I mean, obviously, I would do a different graphic because I always like to do different graphics for the for the thumbnails. It's either people who let me use their art and they want to kind of remain anonymous, or just stuff I find on the internet that I think kind of goes well with what I'm trying to show, or what I'm trying to portray with the song, with the track. So, and then what's really cool is like it's nice to be able to upload stuff, and then I think the more you do it, the more you get people to listen to the rest of your tracks, and it's also easier to be able to share that as a somewhat of a resume, for other people, because you don't want to have just your music on like, a memory card, and then, or a external, just that, and then never show it. And you want to also, if you're at a party, like I just recently went to a party and we hung out we were leaving this bar, and then we all hung out. And like a lot of people like to stay up later than like the bars are open. So like bar closes at 2 a.m. and you just want to keep staying up and listen to music. So we go to this party and we hang out. It's like really low key, like it's not crazy or anything, but people want to stay up and listen to music. So this guy actually had a really great setup. He had like 5 or 6 like Alexa speakers or whatever, right? Or Google speakers. And they were all hooked up together so that they could like create this sound, surround sound kind of thing. And then like it somehow hooked up with, they like hook up to all your electronics and everything. So we were able to go on SoundCloud and play music. So that was when I was able to seize the opportunity and say, hey, let's look up my SoundCloud and I can play some music for you guys. And that's what's so nice is that like, especially when you're with other artists, you can just look up your SoundCloud and just play some dope ass music and surprise people. And it feels good, especially if they like it and it's, fits the mood. I mean, don't play like loud ass shit if people just want to really chill party. But if, it's an afters or something where you have speakers, you have a stage, you have whatever. Yeah. Like if you're a DJ or you're a curator, like bring your laptop if you have to, like something like that where you can entertain. Sometimes it happens where DJ backs out or can't come or something happens, so you could fill in that space. I mean, you never know. um so this is almost done, so I think I'm going to go ahead and open up my Ableton. That would be the best thing to do because I think I have my project, so I can open up my projects as well. Okay. All right. Now, this is almost done. Let's see how this works with the Ableton because I'm just really excited to be able to use it. I really like it a lot. And then, oh yeah, I have to get Splice too. Let's get Splice open. Forgot about that. All right, let's get Splice. Splice is dope. I like Splice a lot. I like that there's and the sound is really cool. Like it just sounds good. I can see why sometimes other artists use it. All right, so they're gonna process it for playback, and that's it. So let's go ahead and share the Ableton app for a second. To process because I opened up Ableton and because it's kind of a complicated, or not complicated, but it's kind of a complex track, right? So let's stop sharing that. And you guys can comment below, like tell me what you guys think about using certain, streaming platforms. Like, do you guys like to be able to use platforms that you can use, to your advantage, or do you like to be able to just use turntables and vinyl? Like, what's your process? Some people like to use certain things. Some people like to use like just software and then use hardware as well. So that's why I'm going to try and get my chords to work or get new chords for um, my keyboard because I don't understand why. I mean, it was just working, and then I shouldn't have unplugged the keyboard cords. I unplugged them. Like and it wasn't like they were supposed to be like melted together or glued together. They just didn't reattach. So I think that maybe it's crooked or something like that. Like that, I have no idea. So I'm just gonna go back to Micro Center and see if I can get. Actually, no, I can't go to Micro Center. I tried going there, so I might go to Guitar Center because the Guitar Center sells that actual keyboard that I have. So they might actually have the chords that I need. And then once I do that, I can get to playing again, because it would be really fun if I could start using it, because it's really fun. And it's got like so many. Let's see if I can grab it again. It's got like, all these keys and pads and everything. I mean, it's so pretty. So I really just want to start using this again. I had to get used to using pads because they're so light. You just like do a really light touch. It's not like a button where you press. It's just a light touch. So once you start using stuff like that, you just get so addicted. And then tomorrow, I have a collaboration with another artist who kind of wants to do what I'm doing right now. She's just like remixing stuff. So she'll go and like find tracks, on SoundCloud that she likes, maybe from DJs that she likes, and she'll remix them or add, stuff to them. But she kind of wants to do what I'm doing, where I'm just like literally creating sound, like putting sound, not creating sound. So I'm putting loops and sounds together. And she has this really cool mixer that's like, it's got two plates for like, it grabs the tracks and then like brings it down to the mixer, and then it has all these buttons and knobs and pads and stuff. And it doesn't have any keys, but I'm really excited to use that. And I told her, let's try and use it with my music. Like, I actually am going to bring my external hard drive, or maybe just my Fire Stick, and put some tracks on there. And I think I'm going to let her manipulate and play with some of my tracks that I already have on Spotify, not ones that are new, because I don't know, they're my babies. Like, maybe I'll put a few on there that I'm not like crazy about, like if she wants to change them. And then I'm going to shadow her and watch her use the mixer, so I can learn how to use the mixer, and then I can save up and get my own, because it's like $250. So it's not expensive if you are trying to invest in yourself. And I'm not there yet as far as like using equipment, um where I have a gig after gig after gig, where I can just like say that that's a good thing to buy. I want to get a couple gigs under my belt and be able to, have more exposure, just doing what I'm doing with a laptop and, borrowed gear, and work from there. And then like my ultimate goal is not to play for venues, not to play for bars. I just want to play for people's parties. I want to play for, especially afters, or, stuff like that. I want to be able to do stuff like that, because it's really competitive out there in the music world. It's competitive with the DJ world. It's competitive with promotion. A lot of DJs are able to use Photoshop and create their own flyers, and like they pay money to get companies to promote them, or something like that, or people to do it for them on social media. And like, I mean, if I just plan my time better and my money better, I could do the same thing. But we're in the age of the millennial, which I'm 35, but 35 and younger, we're just doing it ourselves now. We don't have, not all of us have agents. I mean, that was kind of like a thing back in the 80s and 90s. You had an agent, and they did all the work for you, and all you did was show up and play or perform, which is nice. But then they get like a huge ass cut of what you're making. So it's just not worth it for me, at least. All right, so let's see. I don't know why my Ableton's not opening up. Let's see if I can open a project. There we go. Okay. So I have a project. So let's hope that actually opens, because I want to see if that actually. Oh, and I want to actually. You're gonna have to give me a second here too, because I want to make sure that you can hear Splice and hear it on, and also um hear Ableton as well, because I know I wasn't able to share both things last time. So let me share Splice with you so you guys can see it again, because I know last time I didn't really get to share it. So let's see if I can share that with you guys. Okay. Nope. I don't know why it does that. It's so weird that it's like the window effect. All right, so this is Splice. So you guys can see what it looks like, and then I'm just going to go ahead and open up the project for Ableton, and you can see everything. So here's Splice. So like this is all the stuff that I had that I actually had downloaded before. So this is all the recently added stuff that I have. I mean, it's a shit ton because just look, sometimes it was like I would download stuff that I just wanted to have and I wasn't going to actually use it in that track. I just wanted to have it for later because I thought it sounded cool. And then a lot of this was from when I played at Baby Atlas and I like mostly used stuff from Splice. And then, like I said, here's the instruments. You can kind of see it all cataloged here, everything, like all the different types of instruments. And then you have packs, which is just like already made, curated sound packs. And it's a shit ton. I mean, it's just a lot. It's overwhelming. And then you have genres. It's a lot of genres. I mean, just a lot. So I'll show you guys a project that I did for Ableton. This was like one of the ones that I did. It's called Funky Mix. It's a really cool mix. I'll play it for you guys. All I want you, yeah, and the one you, yeah, and the one you, yeah. I have seen it all. I want you, yeah, and the one you, yeah, and the one you, yeah. I have seen it all. I want you, yeah, and the one you, yeah, and the one you, yeah. I have seen it all. I want you, yeah, and the one you, yeah, and the one you, yeah. I have seen it all. I want you, yeah, and the one you, yeah, and the one you, yeah. I have seen it all. I want you, yeah, and the one you, yeah, and the one you, yeah. I have seen it all. I want you, yeah, and the one you, yeah, and the one you, yeah. I have seen it all. I want you, yeah, and the one you, yeah, and the one you, yeah. I have seen it all. I want you, yeah, and the one you, yeah, and the one you, yeah. I have seen it all. I want you, yeah, and the one you, yeah. All right, guys. Well, that sounded really good. I like that. So that was my funky mix that I actually put on SoundCloud. Um, I did like funk, funk house. I did drum and bass, like some of that percussion in the middle or like near the beginning of the track was drum and bass, and then the actual bass, the end, the bass in the end. I think this one was different. Yeah. Okay, so both the basses that I used were different, but they were actually deep house. And then that little sound effect at the end, that was funk house. Then the lyrics were funk house and soul. So it was actually the same person singing. She had a shit ton more like vocals that that was like literally all. It was almost all the vocals in that genre that I was looking for was like her, which was great. So I was able to create a sentence and create like an experience with just like her voice, like talking about like, oh, I love you and I'm so addicted to you, I'm drawn to you, I need you, kind of thing. And that's what I've cultivated in my mind when I hear other DJs playing deep house and house music, is that they have these, sometimes they're from vinyl, sometimes they're already like sound bites that are already there, but just like that, that mantra where it just keeps repeating the same thing. It tells you put your hands up, or tells you like how much they love you, or just something in like a deep pillow talk kind of thing, where it goes with the soul and the body of the music, but it also has a story, tells a story, and then you end up having it in your head for like a good week. I mean, there are times where I leave. Luckily, this time I went to afters after Queen, so there was so much music that night. I don't have anything in my head anymore because there was so much for like 5 hours straight. So sometimes I leave though a club and I'll be like, I'll just have that music in my head, and or I'll have the beat or the rhythm or the type of soundbite vocals in my head, and it's just so amazing. It's like it just uplifts you. So I always like to put in, if I'm using house or deep house or funk, I always like to add vocals in there to kind of keep it going, keep it light, keep it fun, and make you think. And I have goosebumps. I don't know about you guys, but I did add this in my SoundCloud, but I did not master it. So I know that you guys are listening to it through a boom mic and somewhat okay speakers, but I highly suggest you go to my SoundCloud at Curator Kitty, and you can hear the track with headphones. It sounds phenomenal. I did not master it at all. Like Splice just does a really great job with providing sounds that are already sounding really good. So I haven't really like been through all of this stuff yet. This is all the stuff that Ableton already has, and it definitely helps to kind of take a tutorial. I think I should probably take one soon because I want to learn more about how to use it. I know I could just bother one of my friends to teach me, and they all have a life. I mean, I probably will bother one of my friends, but they all have a life, and I feel like if I just go on YouTube like a good millennial and learn, um so I'm just texting someone. Okay, so if I do a live, if I go and watch a tutorial, then how to use it, I'm sure I can learn in like really like a few days. I'm a quick study. I mean, I self-taught how to edit video with Adobe. And Adobe's been around forever, since 1999, 1998. And I learned actually how to edit video before I started filming, which was really beneficial for me because when I actually learned how to film, I was able to know what type of angles I wanted to use, what type of lighting I needed, especially when I wasn't using a 4K camera. I was using a 1080p camera, which is okay. It's like 2K, but I was able to know like how long to hold a shot, how short to hold a shot, just all that stuff that you have to learn filming. And when I went to go edit, it made me feel so much better because then it just felt like the editing went so much more smoothly. So that's kind of how I'm learning with music. I'm teaching myself how to use the software, but instead of doing it before I made music, I'm doing it after I've been already curating my own tracks. So I actually think that when I go visit my friend, I want to learn how to remix music. There's a gig that I might be, finger crossed, might be working for this weekend, this coming weekend. They're doing like a synth wave party. So it's all synth wave, synth pop, industrial grime kind of stuff, like real, real. I don't think it's gonna be like dancey. I'm gonna make it a little dancey for my end, but they're gonna send me some tracks. So hopefully they send them to me and I can do a live stream showing you guys like how I'm gonna edit them and change them up. I think it would be really fun, you guys, to already edit and master stuff that's already been done. Like it's already been, you know, um, it's already me. Hold on. Okay. I want to be able to edit stuff that's already been done and like remix stuff because I think it'd be really fun to do that. Because I just went from like starting to do my own and I never really took anything that was already done and edited it because I worry about copyright claim. I worry about copying someone. I worry about taking something that someone worked so hard to make and changing it. Uh, if I did do that, it would just be for practicing and for fun. I don't think I would be like, I don't think that I would be like producing it or uploading it to my SoundCloud. If I reached out to that person and I was like, "Hey, I love your track. It's so dope. Can I just like make some cool changes? Can I like add some shit to it, make it longer, whatever?" Then if you do that, then give it to them and let them hear it. And like I think it's just really appropriate and respectful to ask and let them know like how much you like their music and then unless they're like a famous fucking DJ, then like okay, well then they don't even care about you because you're a small little peon. They have no idea. Unless you're like using keywords or buzzwords on your uploads. But I would just, I would reach out to that artist and say, hey, like I really like your shit. Can I like change it up or fuck with it and then upload it again? You have to make sure that you say it's a remix and it's not your work and use their links to their socials, their PayPal, whatever. Because you want to be able to like, and then that actually would open a door for collaboration as well, which would be really fun. So this person that I'm going to meet it would be really great in a year or two. We can start bonding, get our collaboration vibes together and maybe do a show together or do a party or something and just work side by side. I think it would be really fun. Especially as like, I always support female artists, non-binary artists. I love male artists too, but I just think female and non-binary and trans artists are just still, marginalized. And if you are a DJ, it's still a man's world. It's still a man's world. The music industry, as you guys know, in Hollywood, lots of people coming out of the woodwork, like Bass Nectar and a lot of other artists, Ti, like R. Kelly. It's just a lot, right? It's a lot of crazy shit going on. So we need to kind of take that as a note of trying to change the system, trying to change the system and making it safer for women and non-male cis gender artists to feel safe in the industry and be able to create something and feel safe, and feel welcomed and accepted. So I'm going to end that here with you guys. I know it's been about an hour, over almost an hour. So I suggest you guys go on my SoundCloud, and then the next stream I think we'll do in a couple days. Hopefully I get these tracks this week so I can show you guys how I'm going to edit everything. This will be an adventure for both of us because I've never done this before. And we can dive into more Ableton stuff. I think maybe tomorrow I'm going to look at some tutorials on how to use it because there's just so much shit in here that I don't know how to use. Like so much stuff I don't know how to use yet. So thank you guys so much for joining the live stream and watching me. And I'm always very excited to show you guys my process. I'm not going to hide my work. I'm not going to hide what I do. I don't have an ego. It's nowhere to be found. We're just doing this together, having fun. And yeah, I want you guys to check me out SoundCloud, check me out on Facebook where you're streaming right now. Give it a like. And I'm also on YouTube. I have not been able to stream on my YouTube platform yet. but I am also on YouTube, Curator Kitty. It's the same thing on every platform. If you want to email me some music that you want me to listen to and mess around with, I also can invite guests on this live stream as well. If you guys want to live stream side by side, I think it would be really fun to keep a conversation going. And yeah, so it's curatorkitty86@gmail.com. That's the email that you guys can send me your tracks or send me your music or just send me a message. I'm always online. I'm always on my phone. I'm always around. So thank you guys so much, and I hope that you guys have a great week.